Man, I don't think anybody was ready for that answer. Do not mess with Kari Lake. She will embarrass you.
Thank the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Stanton.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Ms. Lake, your actions as senior advisor are eroding American soft power around the globe. And let me be clear about something. The American people cannot believe a word you say. You ran for governor in Arizona in 2022. You lost fair and square. Instead of conceding, you embarrassed yourself and our state by lying again and again for years, blaming everything under the sun for your loss except for your own toxic politics. You lie about that election to this very day. I can't imagine how people fighting for democracy today and around the world can trust someone who has so shamelessly lied about her own election.
Will the gentleman yield to the
Ms.
question?
Lake, no, I will not.
Okay,
Ms.
well,
Lake,
just so you know,
to regain a semblance of your credibility, I will not yield.
Terrorists, so
Ms. Lake, to regain a semblance of your credibility.
Factual about the evidence.
Yes.
This is the gentleman's time. If you did not yield,
I did not yield, and I'd like the time back. Ms. Lake, to regain a semblance of your credibility, are you finally ready to admit you lost the 2022 Arizona election?
It saddens me that you are from Arizona and you're okay with
That's a yes or no question, Ms. Lake.
It saddens me that you are from Arizona.
I guess the answer is no. You are an adjudicated liar and a two-time political
Chairman, I move to
loser
take down
in Arizona.
those
I have
words,
one
please.
final question.
Chairman,
reclaiming my time.
I'd like to take down those words.
It's the gentleman's
I do not
33
yield.
seconds.
I have one final question for you,
call
Ms.
someone a
Lake. You have
liar.
a chance
That's
to
not
answer.
how
Let me
you
one
treat
final
other
question.
people that
The
are being
gentlelady
questioned.
will suspend, please. Go ahead. You
You lost for governor in 2022 to Katie Hobbs. You lost even worse to Ruben Gallego for Senate in 2024. Well, Arizona has another election for governor next year. Will you do us all a favor and run it back and run for governor again? I yield.
The gentlelady
No more questions.
Can I respond
You may
to some of that? Because that was complete insanity. And I want to apologize to the people of Arizona that we have somebody who's representing the folks in one of our great parts of the valley that doesn't care about the integrity of our election. So but you weren't here. You came in late. And we were talking about USAGM today, the Agency for Global Media, and how they can put out absolute abject lies, and we can't control any. We have no say over what the editorial content is, and I would hope that you would not be okay with that. They could literally put out a lie about anybody here, and I know you've been the victim of that. I know you've been the victim. I remember the stories about you where they said you had a gay lover, and those were going out all
Mr.
over.
Chairman.
Can I
hope
finish the story?
you honor what you just gave as a caution to everyone, and I moved those words
to tell you that those kind of lies, and you said those were lies, those kind of lies could be broadcast today on VOA, and you couldn't pick up the phone, Representative Stanton, and call them and say, hey, you're putting out lies about me. You would not be able to do that because they would sue you for breaking the firewall. So lies are being told on Voice of America. It's inappropriate. You've been subjected to lies that you said were lies about you in the media before. And how would you like it if those lies were put on Voice of America right now? Because they could do it and you couldn't do a thing about it. You couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop all those lies that you said were said about you if they went on Voice of America today. You'd have to sit and take it.
Okay, I thank the gentlelady, and I appreciate the dialogue. Ruling on the member, she was responding, and I thought rather complimentary that in fact those were untrue, and she was defending that. So
that's what he says.
I'll leave it as that. If I think Mr. Stanton would agree that those were untrue statements, and she said so. I will now recognize myself for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize. I wasn't concerned at all what she was saying. My concern is that the leader of this agency, which is supposed to disseminate truth about the United States, is an adjudicated liar. That's not an exaggeration. That's not.
Okay, the gentleman made that point quite clearly.
Said that.
Mr. Chairman,
recognizing myself for
Mr.
5
Chairman,
minutes.
Unanimous consent. Twice so far, the chair, prior to you, had said there was no documentation for requests of
Does the
meetings.
gentleman
So I'd like
want to submit
unanimous
something?
consent that these be placed in the record. These are requests for meetings that have not been answered. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Could I see the date on those? I mean, were those?
Okay, we'll be able to make
Okay.
the record complete, and you'll be allowed to give the other half of these emails. For the record, we agree, for unanimous consent, that these emails be entered
Yep.
and considered
Don't mess with
factual
her.
with the recognition that they be verified by the agency. I'll now recognize myself.